Okay, I'm just a few minutes late tonight. Welcome to Aunt Lainey's Kitchen. Tonight I'm gonna do like something I've done before. I'm gonna do pot stickers, but I'm a little bit more organized than the first time I kind of threw them together. Then I'm gonna cut up some mini cucumbers, and I'm gonna kind of show you what I did to create kind of like this salad. Now I'm not gonna do the salad here, but I'm gonna kind of show you how I cut up the cucumbers. So there's that, because I've just got some leftovers. I got some bits and bobs going on. I'm finally going to hit the store I believe I'm going to do it on Thursday. And here's the funny thing. I'm getting real old school grandma, because I'm actually looking at the circulars again, like really looking at them. Not doing the glance, but I'm actually looking to see now what do they have at this store versus this store. And maybe what I'll do is I'll do a couple trips, because, you know, groceries are not cheap. Like before, last year, I probably would have scoffed at that. Like around this time last year, I'd been like, I'm not doing all that. But you know what I'm doing right now? I'm doing all that. So yes, that's how you kind of know. That's like a recession indicator for me, because I'm like, you know, I'm a big convenience person. And so I'm like, oh, this convenience is kind of costing me some extra money that I really don't want to have to spend. So there you go. There you are. I hope everyone is doing well. Now, last time I did these like pot stickers, I cut them on camera, but I didn't want to do all that because it made the video a lot longer, I think, than it needed to be. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to show you what I have. I have a little bit of rice. I have some chopped up broccoli. I have some ground turkey that I seasoned in lemon juice, 5 Chinese spice, a little bit of ginger as well. And then I also put in, I feel like I did something. I feel like I'm like, oh, I put in some sweet and sour sauce. So it's kind of already blended, because here's what happens when you use ground turkey especially. It's kind of a drier meat, so it gets kind of crumbly. So when you try to put something like together, it does not work because it's just so crumbly. So right now I'm just kind of making these. I have this little egg wash. So I went ahead and I did like kind of like a little bit of the sweet and sour there. I just kind of like, I didn't really measure it because I was just going to do a little, and then all of a sudden it just kind of like came all the way out. I would say I probably have, now I have a bigger like bowl of this, but I would say I probably had about an 1/8 cup of the sweet and sour, just to kind of, you know, make sure that it didn't get too crumbly. So I'm not using very big pieces here. I think you can, I believe you can see that. So I'm just going to kind of get this out of the way so you're not focused on that. So I just kind of have this here, and I'm going to do a little bit with the broccoli here. Now this is just for me. I'm not cooking it for anybody else. Otherwise, you know, I would just kind of scoop it in here. I do have the gloves on because I kind of like to roll that way because I do have acrylic nails. So here you go. Now this is not, and I'm kind of like smushing it here, because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put this in the air fryer. Now the last time I made these on camera, I had them, I did them with my panini press, and that's what I'm going to do again. And then I did another version of these, but I did not do the panini press. I did them in a air fryer. And let me tell you something, that was really stressful because I was trying to make sure they didn't get too dry and crispy. And then so the first batch I made, I was like, oh, these are kind of like soggy. So then I tried to put them in again. Then they got too crispy, and it just was not good. I was like, you know what? This is not good. So here, what I'm doing, because I'm putting this in the panini press, and I'm not doing like, this is like a flat kind of thing. So what you're going to get is, this is kind of more for like a bite situation, right? I'm not trying to make them look good. What's going to make them look good is the kind of like the grill mark that's going to be on them. So there you go. Now, like I said, I can make them smaller, but I don't want to like end up with a whole bunch of like little pot sticker things that just have that little pop of meat in them. So I'm going to make them like this so I can, again, use more ingredients, kind of smush them down a little bit, get a little bit of rice. Now this rice thing is, I feel like it's optional, because what you could do is you could just do the broccoli, you could just do the ground turkey, and then you could put them, the pot stickers on and I'm like, oh, I did not egg wash that. What you could do is you could put them on a bed of rice. When in doubt, don't be afraid to use that bed of rice if you want to make things a little fancy, or let's be practical, if you want to make things a little filling. Let's say you just have like a few of these like egg roll sheets left, and you got to make them stretch, because we're all making things stretch right now. I would definitely put them on that bed of rice with maybe some green onions, some scallions on top, I actually do have some for the presentation. Just a few. I might need more, but, and I've got some food scissors that I use to kind of, cut those. Now, you can also use a knife if you don't have food scissors. But, you know, again, I'm kind of bougie that way. But you can get some food scissors at the Dollar Tree. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. I did not spend a lot of money on my food scissors. I just kind of use them for food. So here we go. Like right here, I'm kind of, again, keeping it kind of flat. We're just going to keep on going here. And see here. And again, I like these to be a little bit bigger because I want them to be able to withstand that panini press. If I were making them smaller, I'd probably put them in the air fryer, but I just felt like they got a little too crunchy. I didn't quite have the hang of it, and I don't want to have, like, that was crunchy, you guys. When I tell you I had like all kinds of like sauces trying to like soften that up because it was just not, it wasn't it. Okay, let's see here. Get this in here. And it's really tempting to really stuff these, but when you do that, what happens is that it'll fall apart. So again, you just kind of want to be delicate with the amounts in here and kind of like, if you're using the panini press, especially, or you know what, you can make these in a cast iron skillet. I've done that before. When I lived in Newport, Rhode Island, which I cannot believe, 15 years. Like it's so crazy. I'm going on like year 16 that, of moving to like Newport, Rhode Island. It's so crazy that like time is really flying by. I noted on Facebook, I have a whole bunch of like Navy cousins, putting that in quotes, and I met them like in 2011 at the Super Bowl. And so like at a Super Bowl party in some random part of Rhode Island, because that's just, you know, what we did back then in 2010, meetup groups. And oh my gosh, and one of my really, really good friends, it's so funny, he's like a really good friend now. Like, I met him and he had a cheese head on, and I was like, and he said, hey, do you want to wear my cheese? I have an extra cheese head. I said, I was born in Minnesota, and when I tell you he snapped that cheese head away from me so fast before I could process what was happening, it was so hysterical because, you know, he's from like Wisconsin. So, you know, again, it's all good in the hood, it's all love. But yeah, such a great time in my life right there. Lots of hard things happen, but just having those good friends around, those people that become family, very important. And I've talked about it before on my podcast, Aunt Lainey's Kitchen. I used to have so much, I used to cook. I always said, you know, I was cooking for the Navy because they were always having some kind of potluck. There was always some kind of food thing going on. And so, yes, I mean, food really does bring us together. Now, I am here. I'm still kind of did that little egg wash. And if you're worried about the corners, and sometimes I'm like, oh, this is like, you know, I didn't really do this perfectly. As long as the ingredients don't fall out, it's all good. Like, don't stress yourself out. Again, because the grill marks when you do the panini, or even if you just do it in a cast iron skillet, you can present this beautifully later. Like, don't be afraid to be like, oh, you know what? It looks like I have I have more ingredients left than I thought, but that's okay because I can always, you know, make some more when I'm off camera. See here, let's get some of this here, and then just a little bit of this rice here. And this is jasmine rice. I know I always sing about the praises of jasmine rice. It's because anything you put with jasmine rice, if it's got any kind of sauce, or you know what I mean, anything like that, a marinade, a gravy, that jasmine rice is going to it's kind of like your wingman, really, if you think about it. It's kind of like a wingman for you. You just kind of like, you know, put it together on there, and it's going to absorb all the flavors. Now, you know what? I could probably do a little bit more here, but I don't want to do too much because I don't want it to explode in the panini maker when I start to kind of do that. But what I'll do is I've got one more of these wraps here. So I'm going to put this together, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go on to the cucumbers, as you know, as I prepare the panini maker. So I hope everyone out here is doing well. We got a lot of stuff going on in the world. I hope we remember our humanity at all times. It's really hard sometimes, but you know, it's so important for us to remember our humanity, no matter what. That's you know, that is a non-negotiable. Okay. Now we've got the Super Bowl coming up, and this is kind of like when I was kind of doing this, I was thinking about like Super Bowl bites. And in my latest podcast, I do kind of give some ideas about, Super Bowl, some bites to do for the Super Bowl, some things that you can do. And one of the things that might be controversial, but instead of having a huge Super Bowl party, although I know those are a lot of fun, you could do like a pregame, like a tailgate brunch, from like, whatever time you do for brunch, like maybe like 8 a.m. to noon or something like that, or 1, and just have people come over and they're all wearing their jerseys and, maybe have like a little adult beverage or two and then hang out, and then everybody goes home and watches the Super Bowl someplace else. Probably so much easier on, you as far as like having to do a lot of like preparing and all that other stuff. Because sometimes with the Super Bowl things, you've got like games that you're putting together, the over-unders, all that stuff. I'll tell you, like back in 1999 when I was living in Minnesota, I was dating a guy, and he lived with all these guys, and they were sports people, okay? They did every sport you can think of, they did, okay? They're the people that would play hockey on the pond, okay? That's what we're talking about, that level of Minnesotan. And so I remember going, and I was running late because I had a little part-time job back then, and my part-time job was like, oh, can you come in? Somebody didn't come in. I was like, I can do that, because I knew there would be like a big party, and so I just kind of came a little bit later, and I had signed up over the phone. They're like, hey, just kind of pick out some things. So I was like, I had my boyfriend over the phone. He's like, okay, where do you want this? Where do you want me to put this? And so I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Y'all, when I tell you I got there, I was like, yeah. At the end of the thing, I won the pot. I won $400. And I wasn't even there the whole time. And when I thought those dudes were going to throttle me, I was like, what? I won? And I thought, oh, maybe I just I'm in third place or something, because I wasn't really paying attention. If you know me, sometimes I just go to the Laney cloud. I'm like, oh, I'm in a cloud right now. Anyways, I was on Planet Laney when they announced all the things, and I'm like, was that mine? I just wasn't paying attention. And my boyfriend's like, oh my God, babe, you won. And I was like, what? What did I win? I'm thinking I won $20 because I don't really understand how this works. And I won $400. And y'all, I think the reason why I got out alive is because I was like, oh my God, they're really mad. I was like, you know what we should do? Next time I come over next week, let's get some pizzas, yo. And so I went and I took some of that money and I did a pizza party. Now, technically, I did not have to do that because my boyfriend was defending my honor, but I just felt kind of like, these guys, they were using science and all this math, all that stuff. I was not doing that. I was like, oh, that sounds like a good number. Okay, cool. Maybe wait, a number between 1 and 20. Okay, I could do that. So yeah. But that was kind of that was one of those fun, kind of little scary, memories. But back then I could actually run pretty fast because I was in my 20s. But yeah, now I probably would be very scared to win something and have people try to chase me because I might be like, hang on, time out. Can I get a head start? Thank you. Okay, now I have this, and I see one of my cousins. I see one of my cousins on here. Cousin Julie is on here, is in the house. Now I'm going to go ahead and, looks like I need to wipe this down just a little bit. Usually I have this kind of clean, but it's just been kind of it's been a little crazy. So I was testing this out earlier. So let's see here. Let's get this together now that I've got all of this is gone out of here. So I think what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put these on here. But I think what I want to do is spray. Whew. Okay, got that spray going on. Okay, let's see if you can see. Okay, I think you can see here. Whew. I don't want to knock all that stuff off. Okay, I think you can see. So again, these pot stickers, are they perfect? No. But are they going to taste good? Yes. And you know what I need to do so I don't have an incident is move that cord away from the heating plates. Okay, there we go. They're different shapes. It's all good. We're fine. Now, if you really want to, you could probably spray these with a little bit of lemon juice if you kind of want to do it that way. Also, what you can do is, I'm looking for my, do I have it? Is this, yes. The Chinese 5 spice. I'm just going to put a little on here. Not a lot, just a little, just kind of give it a little little character here. Okay. And now we're going to heat this up. And I've got all of these on here. I'm not going to do a thing. Sometimes, you know, I'll like, let's do one at a time. I'm not going to do that because in a realistic situation, we would not be doing that. Let me realistically move this stuff out of the way. Okay. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Over here. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so this is starting to heat up. We're just gonna do that. I've got sweet and sour sauce for dip, but let's say I didn't have that sweet and sour sauce. What I would do is I would do a little bit of lemon juice with some 5 Chinese spice or a little bit of ginger. Or what you can do, what I've done in a pinch, and I know it's gonna sound crazy, you can use some balsamic vinegar, put a little bit of lime juice in there or lemon juice in there. Then you can put a little ginger in there, and it's going to have like this nice kind of like, you know, it's going to have like a tart kind of vinegary taste, and it's actually pretty good. And when you add that lime to it, it's really going to like pop. So, you know, again, if you're someone who likes to have all those flavors popping, that is like a nice little substitute for a dipping sauce for a pot sticker or a wonton or something like that. Even a crab rangoon, I've done that with crab rangoon. When I don't have any sweet and sour sauce or any soy or anything like that, that's what I'll do. So we're just gonna kind of, okay, so it's kind of slowly, it's heating up, it's making its way there. Now, because I have some leftover rice, okay, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead, and you can't see this because I'm purposefully kind of hiding this from you. But I'm just kind of like moving this rice around a little bit. And because it's not a full thing of rice, it's still going to be a bed, but I'm going to also put, ooh, that is sizzling. That is sizzling. I swear I'm going to look back at this and be like, man, I was out of the frame. Okay, so this is kind of getting a little heated. Let's see here. While that starts to sizzle, I'm going to move this out of the way. Ooh, that is sizzling, y'all. I bet you. Okay, it's ready to go. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, take this off. Okay. Picking that back up, trying to see. Hang on, I'm looking for my little spatula. This will work. Okay, so you're probably like, what does this look like? It looks like this. Look at that. See, look how that looks so savory. Now again, I'm putting it on this little bed, and it's not even a full-on bed, okay? It's not even a duvet. It's kind of like, I posted something about old people using blankets and how awesome that is when you put some blanket over your legs and how amazing that feels. This is like more like that, okay? It's not a true bed of rice. It's more like a blanket over your legs kind of bed of rice. Let's see here. Now, some of these don't have the grill marks. So what I'm going to do, but these 3 have the grill marks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go for the grill marks. Just like a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer because I just kind of want it to cook a little bit more. Hang on. Again, we're going to move this bed over here. And this is the kind of cooking sometimes you have to do if times are lean or you're exhausted and you don't want to cook. Like you're like, listen, I don't have it in me to make some more rice. Or I don't have it in me to like cook up some more broccoli. This is all I got. So this is the kind of thing, and I'll also take a picture of this. See how that looks? This is a nice little, it could be a nice snack for the Super Bowl. It could be like a nice snack when, you know how, I think there's something called girl dinner they talk about. And you know, it's kind of like a board and it's like, you know, all kinds of like random things. This is like a nice little night where you know you need to eat a little something. And Okay, that's looking better. You know you need to eat a little something, but you're not sure what you want to eat. Let's see, is this one? Okay, this one is cooked. We got this right here. Okay, we're going to move this to a hotter spot. Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of getting into that because sometimes on a Friday night, if I decide not to go out, or I know I'm not going out till like 8 o'clock, that's very rare these days, okay? But if I'm like, oh man, I want to eat ahead of time, but what if there's something like a yummy little dessert I want? I don't want to fill up on dinner, so I would probably do like these Potstickers with a little bit of rice and a little bit of broccoli. Kind of, okay, now we finally have it all. Amazing. Okay. See, the grill marks really make it. The grill marks give it like an elegant kind of thing. And I kind of prefer doing that versus doing the air fryer. Okay, so this is what I got. Again, I will take pictures. You can just kind of see a little bit of that rice there and a little bit of that broccoli there that I had. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way. I've still got some leftover meat. I'm just going to put that here. Okay, now what we're doing is we are going to cut some cucumbers. Cutting some cucumbers. Okay, and as always, what I'll do is after I stop filming this and I get everything together, I will take pictures and I will post these. And I'm also on TikTok with this, and I do like little videos because it's just easier to do that. So now when it comes to these mini cucumbers, here's kind of like what my vision is. So when I was kind of like, it was Sunday, I was like, you know what? I kind of want a salad, but I'm not really getting lettuce right now. And so I'm like, okay, what do I have? And at the time, and again, I just kind of cut this kind of weird. At the time, I still had some carrots. And so I was like, oh, you know what? So I did like this carrot. It was a true medley because I didn't put it in the pan, the cast iron skillet, to make it a hash. Okay, this is kind of on the thinner side because I cut that kind of weird, but that's okay. So what I do is, now you can take all the seeds out if you want to do all that. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the seeds, but you know, some people don't. You can remove the seeds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this just like this, more in like a kind of like a square, like a rectangular chunk, like that. And I think it works well if you're like, if you don't have any lettuce, or your lettuce is looking kind of crazy and you're like, I don't really trust this lettuce, then what you can do, and you know what, I don't really trust this right here, put this over here. Now that's the thing about mini cucumbers. Like, I've only had these, it's been like a week, maybe I'm going into the second week of these. But yeah, they don't last super long. So you gotta, like, you know, you gotta be in it to win it. Okay. Again, we're just kind of doing this, and I can season this. I can season these, like if I want to do, like with a little bit of ginger, a little bit of lemon, I could do that as well. If I wanted to do the Chinese 5-spice, let's see, how's this feeling? Is this feeling kind of, no, that's kind of sus over there. Okay, that's fine. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes it happens like that. Like, you just have to kind of go through it, and you know, not all the cucumbers make it. It's okay. Now, I do have my hatchet, but I don't have it. Like, it's someplace else, so that's okay. Okay, so this is what I got going on. So many things. If I had carrots, if I had like some carrot strips, I could throw that on here. I could take some, I could actually like use my peeler, and I think that's what I did. I peeled carrots and I cut them into ribbons, and I kind of like lightly put them on top of here. And I took a couple pictures. I did a couple different versions, but I did take some pictures and do some videos, so I can probably upload those at some point. But I really kind of like that, because here's the thing. We get these vegetables, we're like, I need to eat these vegetables. And then we start doing other things, and we're like, those vegetables, I don't know what I want to do with them. It gets really like intense. But with these cucumbers, I could drizzle a little bit of that balsamic and lime on there as well. Maybe a little bit of ginger, get that on there. I could also do some smoked paprika if I wanted to do that with like a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I could also do Italian seasoning with basil, and then some of my my favorite powdered Parmesan cheese. You know what I'm talking about. Or you can get some real Parmesan and do that. But something like that you can get in there. It's going to give you like this nice kind of taste, a nice little filling salad. Because when I was younger, I kind of always thought traditionally about what a salad was. Okay, you had pasta salad and potato salad and all that. And then you kind of had, you know, obviously the salad, like the cold salad with the lettuce. But I was like, you know, I remember watching a Giada show, and she was like, I'm going to make a broccoli salad. And I was like, where are the leaves at? She just has broccoli. Like, it was like not computing. But, and that was years, I just want to say that was years ago, okay? Like maybe a couple decades ago that I was like that. I was like, wait, what? But now I realize, like, again, this vegetable, you can do a salad out of anything. So, again, something to keep in mind because of these food prices, I'm feeling the pain too, y'all. I'm feeling the pain too. And if you don't, you can't necessarily buy everything you were buying back in 2018 when it was like, I'm rich. And a $75 grocery thing was like quite a haul. Now $75 is like what, 6 items or something like that if you're lucky, if you have a coupon, okay? So it's a little bit different now, but that's fine. We can kind of get through that, especially us, you know, like if you've got elders still around or if you're raised by elders in the kitchen, you know what to do. You have all the wisdom that you need. And even if you weren't raised by a lot of elders, like the internet is great and there's a lot of great YouTube videos. You want to follow me, I can kind of show you, like, you know, on Aunt Lady's Kitchen, but there's a lot of great creators out there. So I think now it's easier than ever to like learn how to cook, but not just that, learn how to cook well and also learn how to kind of keep all of your ingredients, you know, keep them from going bad, but also use them up. I think that the more you know how to do things, the less you're going to waste food because you're not going to have that anxiety. You're not going to have that dread like, oh my gosh, I still have all these cucumbers. Oh my gosh, I still have all these carrots. You're going to kind of have some recipes on hand and you're going to be ready to go. Okay, on that note, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Aunt Lady's Kitchen, whether it's live or you watch this on YouTube, Aunt Lady's Kitchen on YouTube or TikTok. I know I do some shorts on Instagram. I'm actually going to be filming another video tomorrow. I do the videos like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I film them and then I post them, usually on the same day or within a day. You can also find me at AuntLady'sKitchen.com. I've got some more kind of culinary adventures that I'm going to kind of be doing as well, obviously in a budget. I want to be like really conscious of that. I know there are some food creators that are doing luxurious things still and good for them, right? But I'm not going to be doing that because I'm just like, I feel like I kind of want to be, you know, more realistic about, you know, how I'm living my life. So you're not going to see me at the gourmet food store like you would have seen me maybe last year, like earlier in the year or a few years ago. Like if I go, it's like, look, I got this little thing of capers for $25. Look, but it was worth it, y'all. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, talk to you guys later. Be safe. Remember your humanity. And I will see you next week. Take care.